Mark Naird is just promoted to 4-star general. He's going into his first joint staffs meeting, and he's expected to be given the reins of the Air Force. But instead, he's been put in charge of the newly formed Space Force, and he thinks it's a complete joke. He tells his wife just as much later, but he says maybe it's good to get away from the city and live out in the countryside in Colorado where the new base will be. But his wife isn't impressed with leaving there. A year later, they still don't have boots on the moon as he was tasked, but they are reaching a major milestone. They're going launching one of their craft later. However, he's told by one of his head scientists, Dr. Mallory, that he should postpone the launch as the conditions aren't right to launch and they don't want to waste $6 billion. After Dr. Mallory leaves, Yuri or Bobby enters and says he wants to see some of the schematics for the Epsilon 6. Naird thinks he's a Russian spy though, so he refuses to. As he's going to his next meeting though, he gets a text from the president telling him to show Bobby the schematics. Since there's 2 senators and congressmen at the base, Naird wants to be able to show off something, so he sees a test of their satellite killer missile, the Yellow Jacket, but it goes horribly, so they'll have to launch the Epsilon instead. Naird now has lunch with the senators and the congresswoman, and are concerned about the rumours which have been spread by Dr. Mallory that the Epsilon 6 isn't going to be launched. However, Naird assures them that it's going to be launched, and that what they've heard have only been lies. Naird goes to Dr. Mallory. He tells them they have to launch so they can keep their funding for the programme, but Dr. Mallory says that the risks are too high, so they decide to meet the scientists who are making these calculations. Head among their number is Dr. Chan, who may or may not be a Chinese spy, but all the scientists agree that they shouldn't launch. However, they are unable to sway Naird, and he tells his influential visitors that the launch of the Epsilon 6 is going ahead. So with everyone now gathered in the command centre, Naird gives his speech, and he presses the big red button to launch the rocket. They all watch attentively, as flames and vapour now billow forth from the engines of the rocket, and the rocket slowly begins to build speed and altitude as it makes its way up through the atmosphere. And all is going well until the video feed from the rocket goes dark. The politicians are confused. Naird thinks it is blowing up, but Dr. Chan brings up a second screen, shows all the satellites in orbit, and the Epsilon 6 appears, so they know it's been a success. General Naird brings Dr. Mallory back to his house, and they sit out looking up to the stars, seeing if they can catch a glimpse of the Epsilon, and they think they see something. So Naird looks into his telescope, and he can see the Epsilon. However, they see a second, much larger craft come up next to the Epsilon, and they can see that it bears the Chinese flag, and the craft then proceeds to cut the solar panels off the Epsilon.